Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the temporal vortex, and I want to specifically show you the team that I've been working on, right, for the past few days in order to try and do my best damage that I can. And unfortunately, I just don't have Rook, right? So if you don't have Rook, like most of the people in the top have Rook, and that's how you place in the top, but I don't have him, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for me. However, I've been trying to obviously do my best, min-maxing as much as I can without trying to like farm excessively the dungeons, because it's just, you know, it's just not smart to farm the dungeons just about now, because we don't have the double drop rates. However, what I was trying to do is I was trying to focus around my best possible team, that is the necrotic one, specifically my shadow team that uses Ozul, right? This is the best that I have on my account right now. I have Ozul, which is the exclusive legendary for shadow, and I also do have his exclusive artifact that gives him crit rate attack, and his basic attack while he's in demon form does more damage. So obviously, when it comes to this team specifically with Ozul, you want to try and emphasize and try and boost his damage as much as possible, right? And at the same time, you want to try and keep him in that demon form as much as you can. And the way this one works is when he casts his ultimate for the first time, he transforms into a demon. But then after that, every time he does, every time the time passes, like every 1 second, you lose shadow energy. So you want to boost your shadow energy as much as you can. Well, how do you do that? There's several ways. First of all, every time he does damage, right, with basic attacks or with battle skill, he's gonna generate shadow energy. Second of all, you have other shadow people that can bring you can boost your shadow. So as an example, if you go over here and look at all the shadow people, we have Aspalta, one of the best ones. Whenever she does the ultimate, she grants shadow energy 20 to everybody. Then we have Taldi, which is arguably the best, if not actually the best, when it comes to boosting shadow energy, because he gives shadow energy to all allies, right, for every hit, so that's 15. Also on the battle skill, he gives himself 45 shadow energy, but also the cool thing about Taldi is this one. When gaining shadow energy, grants 30% of the obtained energy to another shadow ally, right? So this one can, I think it doesn't work just to another, I think it gives to all the other shadow allies. Like, maybe the wording is not perfect, but as far as I've tested and played with it, this gives 30% that to everybody. So arguably, maybe Taldi would be better in this team. Maybe I haven't tried that. Maybe I should try that, but maybe Taldi would be better instead of Aspalta for this team. However, the way that I'm doing it is I managed to find a team that pretty much works with just using 2 shadow people and keeping Ozul in his demon form most of the time. I think he only like swaps out once or maybe twice during the whole fight, which is not bad, right? Considering the fact that you want to try and boost his damage as much as you can, having somebody like a Taldi, which he would be a good Witch's Remains and giving some shadow energy, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't bring much damage. The goal is to try and just get him out, right, and get anything else that you can in there. So I guess let's run the team and let me show you how much it actually does at this moment. Do keep in mind we're just like 2 weeks in. I think next 2 weeks in. Tomorrow is going to be week 3 of the season, so there's still lots of affinity solvent that needs to be worked on. I don't have the 5-man synergy yet, so there's a ton of stuff that still can be improved, and obviously this is only the difficulty 3. However, I wanted to show you that, you know, if you do have Ozul and you're trying to make something with Ozul in your team, even though you don't have his exclusive artifact, you can just use the swamp artifact. That's, you know, the best damage artifact apart from the exclusive ones in the game. I want to make this video, like I said, because I want to show you that there are ways that you can do it without having to bring 2, just Ozul and 2 more shadow people, but you can actually pretty much do it with just having Ozul and then Aspalta, or honestly, like I said, I think it would work with Taldi as well, and still have the maximum amount of damage. Like, as you've seen, Ozul hasn't swapped yet, right? Unless I missed it, he hasn't swapped from his demon form yet, because he generates enough shadow energy himself, plus what Aspalta gives, it can pretty much keep him in the demon form most of the time. And that's when the damage you see, the damage that he does ramps up. So the way that I focus this team, or the way that I try to build this team, is I focused on making the team survive as much as I can, again, with the amount of gear that I had, with the artifacts that I had, without breaking the bank and just using all my stamina to try and farm more gear, because again, it's not really efficient. However, I'm still trying to compete, right? I'm still trying to get top 150, and and it's pretty difficult because my server is pretty much the earliest server possible. So all of the Krakens, all of the big spender whales, whatever, they all got merged into these servers. And it's difficult, right? It's getting just harder and harder to compete. So without a rook, I just have to try and do my best. And this is what I came up with by using, honestly, 3 supports with Aspalta and then with Ozul to get the best damage possible that I actually can. So as you can see, I did do 56 million with this one, right? 56 million is pretty impressive. I do have good good artifacts. I do have the right, champions. I do have everything focused around this one. Honestly, I don't think I'm good. I can push this even further. The best I got before I recorded was 55.9. So hopefully this keeps in top 150. So I'm gonna save it, but I'm gonna show you exactly the builds of everybody, and I'm gonna explain how this actually works, right? So I can still go in even though I already saved my key. First of all, there's no presets, right? I've not played around with presets. I think it might be a little bit too early to go that crazy and min-max the presets because I don't think there's much that I can do to make it as efficient as possible. So I just let everybody full YOLO. Now, when it comes to the build, I guess let's start with Astion first. Astion is amazing because of the passive, right? Steals part of the HP and defense of the boss and then gives a percentage of that to the one with the highest attack, which in my case is going to be Ozul. And then I chose to build Astion. Obviously, her healing on the ultimate is based on her max HP. So I tried to give her as much max HP as I could. But at the same time, you want to not go too crazy because once you get to the 3rd difficulty, you see this hit over here, the single target one, deals damage, but also deals damage to the ally with the highest HP, right? To our ally, to his enemy with the highest max HP. But this also receives a bonus from the enemy's max HP. So the goal for this one is to not have insane amount of HP and ignore defense, but try to keep it the HP as low as you can, but still be the highest in the team, and then boost as much defense as you possibly can so you can survive those single target hits as much as possible, right? It's not ideal, like I would prefer to have a 6-star, I would prefer to have more defense in here, but this is what I could do for now, and I chose to go with this set, the Hope of Oasis, that I don't care about necessarily the HP and skill haste, but the 3-piece effect is the perfect one for your single target, for the one that takes the single target hit, because when the wearer's HP is higher than 60%, the damage taken will be reduced by 25%. Another thing that I could test out, which actually maybe I should have done that, but I have enough as a creation. Instead of the horn, which the horn is perfect because you get 15% more damage to all of your allies, maybe instead of the horn, because I see that's the issue, maybe I use this artifact instead, right? Let me try and max this out if you do have enough and run it in the meantime to see how this one goes. I'm gonna be so short. Are there gonna be any other artifacts that you want to level up? I don't think so. I'm gonna do this. And the reason I'm saying this one is because look at what this one does. So when the wearer takes damage that exceeds 35% of their max HP in a single hit, it reduces the damage taken by 40%, right? So combining that 40% damage mitigation with this damage mitigation of another 25%, that should make it a lot. You know what? Let's just do it for the sake of content and see how this one actually goes. Okay, replace. We're gonna lose some HP, but we should still have the max HP, right? Let's see, 72, 54. Yep, she still has the highest max HP. So let's run this again and then see how this one actually goes. I guess I'm gonna just run this, it should be quick, but I'm not gonna keep you through all of this. I'm gonna come back once this runs over and we're gonna see what the damage looks like, right? So see you in a bit. Okay, so it does look like this one made me go a little bit further, right? Another couple of million, but maybe there's another thing that I could do. Maybe I just swap out, what's her name, Fenja out of the staff, which gives us that shields, and see how well she would do with having the horn, because whenever she does her ultimate, she does boost the healing twice. So that might give us another 10% attack. I don't know exactly if it's going to be perfect, but for now, I'm just going to leave it at this, and I'm just going to, you know what, let me save this team preset because it looked a bit better, and I'm going to keep it. So again, Astion is just using this set that lowers the single target damage that she takes, then as much HP and defense as I could. Now, the next one in this team is Fenja. Fenja is the one that is using the Ancestral Protection, right? Enlightenment over here, 8 defense percent, basically some survivability and as much enlightenment as I could, because her healing is based off of enlightenment, and obviously I want to have as big a healing on the ultimate as I can, and then combined with the Gatekeeper staff, we're gonna get some massive shields as well. I don't have enlightenment here. I have some low level stuff on this side. So you know what? This could be a lot better. Maybe I should just swap this over here to get a little bit more enlightenment as well. But that's Finge up, Ancestral Protection. You 100% always want to have at least one hero in your team that has this one, so you mitigate some of the damage. Now the next one is going to be Cinorel. Cinorel is basically all about his healing, right, as well on the ultimate, and the reason why he's so good is he brings attack penalty on the passive every time he does the ultimate or the battle skill. That does not require accuracy, right? That's just amazing, and it's a 75% chance to land that attack penalty 2 for 10 seconds, right? So he's gonna do the battle skill, he's gonna do the ultimate. He would also be a good candidate, right, for the what's it called over here? I keep forgetting. The Gatekeeper staff, because he does massive healing on this ultimate, okay? Now the way that I have him built is in the the Cyril's Whisper, right? Because he does those attack penalties on the battle skill and the ultimate, he keeps landing debuffs, which means he should keep that attack up pretty much all the time. And the artifact that I chose to go with on him was the Chest of Radiance. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It gives him the attack percent, that's going to boost his ultimate, but also gives us 5% attack and defense to the whole team when we have 3 elemental affinity, which we have because Cinorel is the only one that's like, you know, not part of the affinity. Maybe later on, I'm going to swap Cinorel for somebody else, which I'm not sure who I can find better. That's Ice and Necrotic, maybe Aladia, but for now, the Chest of Radiance is good because it boosts everybody else's stats. Then the other one, this is where it becomes a little bit, finicky, and this is what it makes it work so well with just 2 shadow people. So I have Aspalta being my Witch's Remains, right, because she has a triple hit on the ultimate, give her enough accuracy to land the Witch's Remains. Then I gave her some HP, attack speed. I wanted to boost her attack speed and a little bit of damage as much as I could, but it's mostly attack speed. The reason why I'm saying that is I want her to attack as often as possible because, again, she generates shadow energy whenever she deals damage, and she basically, the more shadow energy she generates, the faster she comes to the ultimate, which means the more she's gonna give 20 shadow energy to all allies, which is gonna be obviously herself, and then to Ozul. And because of that, I also gave her the set, even though it's like, you know, it's rubbish, it doesn't make any sense. I gave her the Echo of War. The attack speed set also gives a ton of attack speed. This is just the perfect set for Shadow, for Dauntless, for anybody that basically benefits from basic attacks. So I gave her, like you can see, defense percent, crit rate on this one. This one I guess is defense. You would prefer, this one, look, it's just triple accuracy. Does help with the accuracy to land Witch's Remains, but doesn't help with the damage. And then this one's defense percent. You'd prefer to have attack percent, but I just don't have enough, right? I just do not have enough of that, so it is what it is. Then also, this one's just an offset piece. Now, I want to quickly mention about Cinorel. Maybe it would be better, actually, if I swap this over like this and give him the Gatekeeper staff, even though he's going to have lower attack. But I do have the Mythic, right, piece of gear, Monolith's Blessing, that has a 50% chance of granting more healing, right? 50% more healing and shielding effects, which I guess would make maybe more sense on him. And maybe I swap, actually no, not swap Aspalta. I'll just swap him from that and hope to get more attack in the future. And now when we're talking about Ozul, Ozul is the same principle. He has, like I said, his exclusive artifact, but you don't need to have this one. If you don't have the exclusive artifact, you can go to Poison of Swamp, or if you have the Shadow artifact, you can go to Shadow Spawn. I'm not sure if Shadow Spawn or Poison Swamp is better. I've not tested it, but from what I tested, his exclusive is better, so that's what I'm using. And then when it comes to the gear set for him, again, like I mentioned, you want to go with the Echo of War, the one that gives him as much attack speed as you can, so you can stay in that demon form as much as possible. And you're going to see that this one, again, it's just a really bad set, but it is what it is. At least I have attack percent on the chest. I have crit damage gloves with some attack, but no crit rate or some other stuff. Helmet, again, I have some crit rate, but no attack percent. I have some crit damage, but no attack percent, no crit rate. I'm missing a lot of stuff. And then an offset piece that gives me some crit rate, crit damage, and attack bonus. Again, you see, not the perfect stats, but it works. I went with crit damage. They gave me some attack speed. And then over here, I went with this one that gives me some attack and crit rate. But obviously later, as I'm going to go through the game, I'm going to be looking for a crit damage with crit rate and with as much attack speed as I can. Because when he is in his demon form, and especially with this artifact, you want him to do as many basic attacks as possible, so he's going to do as much damage as possible. But yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps it for today. I hope this gave you an idea, if you are an Ozul owner, of how you can maximize the damage for this season, at least, right? For season 4, when we have that perfect attack speed set from the Grave of Venom that can give us as many attacks as possible and can boost our damage as much as we can. I'm obviously going to do a video on it later once we get to the 4th difficulty, and I'm gonna try and see how much I can boost in, and then on day 29 I'm gonna be praying I get the rook. But for now we're gonna leave it at this. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye guys.